Yeah. Um, huh. Where to start? Who to be mad at? Did we lose the game? Did United beat us? Does VAR hate us because we went invincible 16, 17 years ago? Do the footy gods just, I don't know, do they just not favor us for some reason in certain matches? I don't really have the answers. I don't know if the other guys joining me have the answers or not, but we're going to do our damnedest to try to figure it out. So let's get into it. Yeah. So, boy, oh boy. Um, I, Ryan, I'm going to let you go first. I don't really, I guess I gotta organize my thoughts here because like I said, I don't know who I'm pissed off. I can tell you that. I don't know if I'm pissed off at us, if I'm pissed off at VAR. I can tell you that I'm not pissed off at United. I mean, yeah, they beat us, but let me rephrase. Yes, they won the game, but I don't know. I don't know. Give me your thoughts.
Not making much sense. I mean, yeah. I mean, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. I mean, the I said it. I said Maguire's gonna give us a penalty. He did. Just we didn't. VAR and Atkinson didn't deem it fit enough to give us a penalty. And I think what gets me upset about that situation was they didn't even review it, which is interesting. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. We lost. I'm not happy. Obviously, very. I have a lot of Man U friends. I dislike Man U with an extreme passion, and yeah, I mean, I. It's funny you're kind of organizing your thoughts. I like have thoughts, but I'm just kind of scatterbrained because I'm just so I'm upset. I'm butthurt. Yeah, VAR. You can blame VAR. You can blame the ref. I blame the players, our players. I blame Arteta, and I'm sure we'll get into all of that good stuff. But yeah, I guess Thierry Henry said it best himself on the post match. We play like underdogs. I mean, what do we expect? You go up 1-0 early, and you play like underdogs. You try to defend. It's going to come back and bite you, and that's what it did.
Stan?
Well, the missus has been asking me, right, for a few weeks now. She's been asking me, Stan, what do you want for Christmas? Give me some ideas. And I've just told her, listen, get me a punch bag with a picture of Cristiano Ronaldo's face on it, please. I need to punch a punch bag with his face on it. I really hate, as a rule, to blame VAR and referee decisions when we lose, but I'm really annoyed about VAR not stopping and having a look at what happened there with Tomiyasu. But at the other end, they were very, very quick to get VAR on the scene and take a look. So I'm very annoyed about that. And I'm a little bit like you. I'm not sure who to blame. There's a lot of stuff that I'm sure that we're going to pick over. Some individual errors, some substitutions that should have maybe happened to help a couple of players save a couple of players from themselves. Thomas Partey, maybe one of them. Tavares, another one of them. Aubameyang, another one of them. But I mean, at the end of it, the substitutions that we did make, substitution. Do you know what I mean? It was like we were trying to scramble to get that valuable point, but this is what's going to happen, I think, when you've got a team of our age. Some of these individual mistakes, I really felt for Odegaard after he'd worked so hard to get us back on a level playing field. But at 1-1, when we were at 1-1, we just sat back. We sat back at 1-1, and that is something that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, where to start here. It'll show that United won this game in the table in the standings. The history books will show that they won the game, but I think we lost it, and I think VAR just helped kind of push that result, further into the done and dusted column. It you like you just everything you just said. You go up 1-0 on a fluky goal. Not a fluky goal. I mean, it was a hell of a strike from ESR for the goal, and I think they got it right. He didn't blow his whistle. Arsenal didn't commit the foul, if you will, on De Gea. So it's a good goal, and I think they got that right, which bodes well for the way that VAR is going to to handle the game. And I agree with the penalty on Odegaard. I that's a penalty. Like I'm not going to sit there and say that VAR got it wrong. They got that right. That's a penalty, 100%. It's a stonewall penalty.
Yeah.
But to not even review it and not more than 10 seconds after that corner where Tomiyasu was held by Maguire in the box, pulled down, the referee blew his whistle for halftime, and at no point did it even appear. They didn't even talk. They didn't even communicate with one another. VAR never even radioed down to him to say, hey, we got something here. We need to take another look at it. We might have a penalty. How on God's green earth is that possible? Everyone in the world who watched that game saw that replay, and United fans' buttholes were puckered up big time because it should have been a penalty. And I said it in a different chat group, and I'll say it here. This is the most corrupt sport in the fucking world. I don't like blaming referees and officials any more than anybody else, but that's a stonewall fucking penalty, and they didn't even bother looking at it. Now, if they go back and they say, well, Atkinson didn't see it, and it's not a clear, I don't care how you explain it. It's a clear and obvious error that he missed it. And VAR's job's to overturn it.
Yeah.
Period. That's your fucking job. You didn't do your fucking job. That's your job. What are you getting paid for? If you're not going to do your job, what are you getting paid for? Get VAR the fuck out of English football because it's garbage. The people who are sitting there running it are shit. You are shit at your job. Period. Not just from an Arsenal standpoint. You're shit at your job every single game that gets played. You are shit at your job. You miss blatant and obvious errors. Match in, match out for other teams. This isn't just an Arsenal rant. It's awful. It's awful. There will be, now, we're going to come back in mid-May when the season ends, and we're going to talk about Arsenal missing out on something, whether it be European football, whether it be it Champions League, be it Europa League, be it a position in the table, because every position in the table gets paid earns a different amount of money. So we're talking anywhere from European qualification to the final money, the money that we get from the final pot. And we're going to be talking about missing it by 1 point. And we're going to look back at this game and say, here's an obvious, blatant and obvious error. That being said, on to the players. And I don't know, is it Arteta that just says, Ryan, you know what? I'm going to turn it over to you. You said in the pregame when you saw the lineup that Arteta was playing to win 1-0 or draw 1-1. That's what this lineup suggested to you. So when we go up 1-0, why does this team, when they go up 1-0, why does this team sit back? Is it the players? Is it Arteta? And because to me, it's got to be something that Arteta's doing because they do it all the time. And he doesn't change anything. So what is it?
I think it's the players mostly. I think Arteta, I'm sure, says something, and I'm sure but when you're up 1-0 in any game, your instinct is to, okay, we got to play defense. We can't let them score at all costs, defend at all costs. And yeah, you want to say, as a fan, you want to say, no, fuck that. Let's get 2, let's get 3, let's get 4. But playing the game, I think, is a different. Is just different. You know, I've been there. I've played in state championship games. I've played in pickup games, and when you go up a goal, your instinct is to, okay, they can't score. They can't. But with that being said, you know, you would think after all the times that they've done this, Arteta would kind of drill them otherwise. I don't know. I mean, we went up 1-0, and for me, I think we just had too many players that were just off today. And in having all these players that were so off today, I think it just opened the door for Man U. And I completely disagree with you. I think Man U were the better team. I think that we probably had more chances to score, but I think their chances, their opportunities were better. They were more clever in attack than we were. I really enjoyed our passing. We were trying to be quick, we were trying to be fast, but that's the problem. And everyone, all the people, like, we're so slow, we're lethargic with the ball, we're spinning around. Okay, so we did the opposite. We were really quick, trying to move the ball real quick, tick, 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 up the field. And what happened? We had no ball retention. We kept losing the ball. They would recycle it. They would play slow and lethargic, and we would be faster to the 50-50 balls. And then every single time, but we'd get a toe on it, and they would just but then they would get it back. They okay, recycle, slow, lethargic. So it's very interesting when you look at it, because people always say, like, I don't like this Arsenal. I don't like how we're slow and lethargic. Well, we played the opposite, and it fucked us. So I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is there with that situation.
Glenn, welcome in. We're going to be joined here by one more guest momentarily. A good friend of the show will be joining us here in just a moment. So,
well,
but Glenn,
what is this mystery guest? Who is it? Or is that like a tease?
No, it's a mystery guest. Yeah. So you'll see when they get here.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, talk to me, Glenn.
Yeah, disappointed. How could you not be? I felt it was a game we could have won. I hope youngsters are going to make mistakes. Odegaard was the devil and the savior in the same game. I hope this gets Tierney a chance to play some ball now. Not because I love Tavares. I have not seen such confidence in a youngster in a long time, but I want to get Tierney in there. The season, guys, it's the first week in December. Look at the table. We're right there. This was a hiccup, no doubt.
Yeah, but again, it's all, we always look at this and say, well, it's December, and we're still right there, and then it's going to be January, and we're going to say, well, we're still kind of right there, and then February will come, and it'll be, well, okay, we're not that far out of it, we're still kind of right there, and hey, okay, now some things need to go our way, and then April comes, and April, it's like, all right, now it's time to scoreboard watch because we're going to need some help. And then May comes, and guess what? We're out of it.
Okay, that was a season. Have a nice year, guys.
But it's always the same thing here. It's always the opportunity lost. This was an opportunity.
Glenn, you sound like an optimistic Met fan. I don't really like it.
I feel your frustration. How many times should we have beaten Manchester United? Look, we all come at it from different angles, but I completely understand your frustration. I'm just saying, for me, it's a hiccup, and let's move on to the next one. I mean, damn, if we won, we were in fourth place. I know, it sucks. Time to move on.
But what's troubling to me is it's the same routine. We can go up 1-0 and kind of sit back against the Newcastle, Watford. We can do that against Burnley. Can't do that against I don't care how bad they were coming into this game. They're not that bad to the point where if you just sit back and invite the pressure, where they're not eventually going to score. They have, for crying out loud, one of the 5 best players that have ever played this sport of all time I mean, in their side, you think he's not going to get a chance? You think he's not? If he gets the chance, that he's not going to bury it? His name isn't Aubameyang, for crying out loud. You know,
Okay.
it just I get tired, and I'm pissed off at VAR.
I know.
But even if VAR went our way, we're drawing 3-3 here. So what like I don't care about it. I want 3 points.
But I see that. You know what I see with a draw though, and we get and if VAR awards that penalty. First of all, I will say this: there's no guarantee that we score it.
It's so funny. I said it to my wife while we were watching the game, and she was bitching out the penalty. And she doesn't really watch football with me that much, but she was watching with me, and she's like, "I can't believe they did this." I was like, you know what? We would have gotten the penalty. Aubameyang would have stepped up to take the kick, and he would have fucking choked and missed. So who gives a shit? That's why, that's kind of what put me at ease during the game.
We'll get on to that later. But the fact is, if we draw that game, let's say we get that penalty, say we scored, and again, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a wonderful Christmas. But that's a well-earned draw. That was a good game of football. That was an entertaining game of football to watch.
It wasn't a good game by us. I disagree.
I mean, I think we did well to fight back in that game after giving up the leveler, after going down a goal and coming right back and answering. And obviously, if that penalty is given and we score, it's a completely different ball game. Completely different. So it really sucks to feel like your destiny is taken out of your hands, and I feel like that's what VAR did to us today.
We had multiple chances to score. Other than that, you can't blame VAR. Yeah. The one thing I really want to say real quick that I've been trying to say, but everyone's talking, which is fine. To Ridhai, he keeps saying the players didn't appeal for the penalty. They did. They all screamed and jumped up, and the commentators even were like, I don't know why they're complaining. It's definitely a goal kick. And then you go back to the replay, they show Tomiyasu getting dragged down to the ground by Harry Maguire. So all the players definitely tried to appeal for the penalty. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm mad at VAR. We should have gotten the penalty, clear cut. I watched the replay on Reddit, and you had Man U fans commenting and saying like, "Wow, we got away with one there. Wow, Maguire just seems to do it again, game in, game out." And it sucks, but we didn't play well. There's a lot of players that just need to get called out and need to be benched. And I'm just gonna read a tweet real quick from his Twitter handle is Arsenal. Well, his Twitter handle is like Arsenal276, a bunch of fucking numbers, but it's Arsenal Forever is like his name. And I had the account up, and now I don't have it. Okay. He tweets, "We all know with young players, they're going to go missing, but our so-called experienced players are always missing. Need to change that to get anywhere." And I could not agree more. Game in, game out, Aubameyang, we're playing with 10 men. I personally, I try to give Partey outs because I know he doesn't play a string of games. It's a fitness issue. We need a partner for him. He's just not good enough. He's not cut for the Premier League. I mean, who knows? Maybe if he gets to 10 games and he's back at 100% fitness, maybe he could prove me wrong. But right now, I don't think he deserves to start for us anymore. We have hungry players like Lokonga. I'm sure AMN would do whatever he can to play. And someone who came under big scrutiny in the pregame, Mohamed El-Neni, he got a lot of shit during the game. A lot of people were talking shit about him. I did not think he was bad. I think Partey dragged him down to his level, and I think Partey gave El-Neni way too many things to do, and he was just running around. And I think the man's got an engine. I thought he was, he did everything that the fans hate him for. He was playing forward passes. I even wrote down in my notes, he made a few very good runs in the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game. He was trying to move the ball forward at all costs. He was trying to play back and forth with Tavares, back and forth with the ESR on that left-hand side. I just think a lot of players just, don't want to. I don't say they don't look interested. I just think someone like Aubameyang, it's just, I know, Tanner, you don't want to blame the extension. That has to play a role here. It just does. I mean, he's getting older. He got the money that he wanted. And maybe he's not doing it on purpose. Maybe it is subconsciously, but you have to, take that into consideration. Yeah, he was. I think, and I was talking to somebody on Twitter, Bryce. I don't know. I'm sorry, Bryce. I don't know your handle offhand, and he kept saying how like Elneny's easy to dribble around, and that's like the one thing I'll give credit to. I think that's his one flaw is it's very easy to dribble around him, but it doesn't. But he's got such an engine. He'll run right back in and get back into the play. So I don't know. It's just a lot of Aubameyang and Partey need to just they need to sit on the bench. They need to just not play. And I know we talked about this. I remember me and Stan particularly talking about this. I think it was last season. And Tanner, you were there, and we were talking about how just fuck it, play all the U23 players and just see what happens. And then Stan would say, "Yeah, but that would ruin them." And I agree. But when it comes to Aubameyang and Partey, what call what are we achieving by playing Partey and Abba? And I can't believe I'm actually saying this because the thought crossed my mind, and I'd be kind of a toxic asshole if I didn't bring this up. But I'm at the point now where I kind of want to see what it's like. I want to see what it's like. I'm not saying I want this for the future, but I want to see Xhaka play with Lakanga. I want to see Xhaka play with AMN because Partey and it's Elneny, so it's could be different, but he just ran around like he didn't know what to do, and Partey did no favors helping him out. And I think the one thing I'll give Xhaka credit for is he's a leader. He will yell at you. He'll tell you how it is. He'll tell you what to do. And I think somebody like Lakanga needs that. And maybe he could further Lakanga in his development so he could play better for us because I don't know. I can't sit there and watch Partey play bad, not communicate, and just try to hide from the game and expose Elneny. But then you have people all over social media. Yes, we will definitely talk about Eddie. And social media just totally ripping Elneny a new one, which I completely disagree with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to
add to that or whatever.
No, I was trying to decide if Ryan and I have a difference of opinion about Partey or if he's clinically insane. Ryan, I'm not going to argue with you about Partey. I'm 100% behind him. Okay. BG, you made some great points. Stan, I didn't hear what you were saying earlier because I was out. I was out in my front lawn and my phone buzzed, and I saw you talking, but I couldn't hear you. So I don't know how you feel. But BG, you made some good points about what you think Arsenal can do to fix themselves. Here's the way I look at it. Okay, against Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester City, we combined lost 11-0. Okay, we started the season 0-3 for F's sake. Okay, last year at this time we were like in 14th place, making relegation game jokes. We're 1 point out of 4th place. I cannot take all this doomsday talk. I saw some guy that said bench Aubameyang and Lacazette and put in Balogun. What?
So Glenn, hold on.
The end of the world. No, it's the end of the world.
I'm not.
It's the end of the world.
I didn't say that.
Partey's no good.
No.
It's the end of the world, and Partey's no good. You put Elneny and Xhaka in there. Go ahead.
I didn't say Elneny and Xhaka, and don't have a heart attack. So good. Okay, Glenn. So you're right. We're very close to 4th. So we get 4th place. We get the Champions League. How do you think we're going to do in Champions League? We're going to get our shit pumped. We're going to go to Champions League. I do. Glenn, I do, Glenn. I'm not getting embarrassed all over Europe.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna play fairy tale land like, oh, we only lost 3-2 to Man U. Man U fucking suck. They're terrible.
Irrelevant.
Glenn, I'm not getting embarrassed in Europe. I'm not, what do you mean? Glenn,
because if we get into Champions League, we get a nice chunk of money. Arsenal gets a nice chunk of money.
Get the money and get embarrassed. Good to know. You'd rather get all you care about the money. You want us to get fucking shit pumped in Champions League. Yeah, I know. And Partey's gonna carry us to the fucking Champions League trophy. You fucking nuts.
Okay, yeah, that's as nuts as Xhaka and fucking Lakanga. Holy fuck.
Glenn,
Oh,
can we agree Lukonga needs leadership? I think Xhaka is the worst player on our roster, and everybody knows this. Everyone that's seen me talk about him knows how much I fucking hate him. But Lukonga needs leadership, and the only one that's going to give him leadership in that midfield is going to be Xhaka. So I said the thought crossed my mind. Do I want? But when he gets named in the starting 11, I'm going to fucking go crazy. Let's face facts here.
I can't.
But
take
Partey's no good. Partey's no good, buddy. No good.
You know what? Last word. You got it. You know how I feel.
Yeah, I know.
Stan. There's a lot to unpack there for you, my friend.
So unlike Glenn not hearing me because he was out doing something, I didn't hear Glenn because I had to turn the volume down because my cat left home. I don't know if we're ever going to see the cat again. Straight out the flat, man, gone. But I did hear some of that, and I kind of agree with what Ryan was saying. You know, and I'm in the same camp. If we're talking about Granit, I also have similar feelings to how I feel about him being an Arsenal player. But you know, looking at what we have, if somebody like Lukonga is going to be playing more regularly, he needs leadership. It's just one of those things. He's not in a place where he's going to learn it in game all by himself. So he's going to need to have somebody to help him, and he's not going to get it from Thomas Partey, I don't think.
Yeah, when you're disrespecting the club, Lukonga, make sure you take off your shirt and flip everybody the bird. Here's how you give it away in a game, Lukonga, at the very worst moment. Okay, yeah, Jacques is the answer.
No, Glenn, none of us said Xhaka was the answer. None of us said that. I'm just
looking at what we have available to us and where they are in the game. That's all I'm looking at. I mean, I'd love to put Xhaka in a box and mail him off to Timbuktu. Do you know what I mean? Not even putting the air holes in the box or a slice of lettuce. But we're really shorn in that area. And our midfield today was like basically non-existent at times. And it's going to be even worse when the African Con Cup thing comes around and we've got more players that are going to be leaving us. We're going to be threadbare.
My son wants to tell you guys something. What did you just say? Daddy is a maniac. Okay, get out of here.
Yeah,
we know.
We know.
I will be done at 7:30. Owen, go. He came down and said, "Daddy, why are you being a maniac?" And he made me laugh.
Elmo.
Oh, we called you Elmo. There's them's fighting words.
Guys, go on. I have to mute my mic.
So I'll just yeah, go to Stan. Go.
But I'm sad that we didn't get at least a point out of it. But as I said a few weeks ago, there's going to be bumps in the road with this team, and when you've got a situation where some of our younger players are having an off day and the senior players aren't putting a shift in, it's going to happen because no one's there to bail the other out. For most of the games that we've been playing, we've been lucky that some of our younger players and newer players have been quite on form, and it's been masking over the poor performances by some of the senior players. But when you get a day that happens like today and those younger players are a little bit off, and there will be always inconsistencies with young players, and the senior players ain't doing their bit, it's going to lead to loss. You know, that's going to lead to losing points.
Yeah, that's why when Rohan predicted a few, maybe it was a month ago on the Tuesday show, that he thinks Arsenal can contend for the top 4, I said everything's going to have to go right. The young players are going to make mistakes.
I mean, again, when he made them late substitutions, I'm like, my eyebrow raised. I'm like, fucking hell, Eddie Nketiah. But again, I'm thinking to myself, who else is there? You've got these guys sat on the bench. It's not working with what you have. At least he made changes and said, okay, I'm going to throw the dice. Maybe Eddie will come on and take his chance. Maybe, you know, Lacazette will come on and take a chance, you know. At least he made them changes. Is there an argument that perhaps if you're going to bring on and make that chance that you go with Balogun, who's more committed to the club than a player who only 24 hours earlier it's come out that has, again, turned down a contract? I don't know, but he did make a change. And I was glad
I want to ask Ryan a question because he's really good with these younger players, and I want to be nice and calm with him and have a civil discussion. Is Balogun ready for the Premier League?
Nope.
Ryan?
Not even a little bit.
Okay. That was it. That's all I want to know.
That's why in January I wanted to go on loan. He needs to go on loan. He could be Premier League ready with you know, a like Newcastle in Norwich, but he not for us. We need to sign a striker immediately in January. And sorry, Raid, I can't read. I'm like a little bunny. I can't read too much. But Arteta, Chris Wheatley tweeted his headline. Arteta said this in his press conference: the senior players have to lead and the young players have to follow. Problem is, the older players aren't leading.
No.
So what do the young players do? They pull Tavares's where they lose the ball in open space. And he got a lot of flack today. And I actually had one friend, my good buddy Ross, he texted me and he was telling me how he's done with Tavares. Caratini should have played. I was right. He was right. Get him out of here. And in hindsight, I do think Caratini was the play here, but I don't think Tavares played bad. I think he made a lot of, he made a couple errors, but I think he did a lot of good and he shows a lot of passion, a lot of bravery, bringing the ball forward, something that we have been calling out as a fan base for so long. Now that we get it, we don't want it. The one thing I will say about Tavares, though, is the problem with him is he does make that one mistake a game. Problem is that one mistake a game is sure as shit going to 100% lead to a goal, which obviously, you can't be having that. So it's difficult to learn in an environment like that where, like, yeah, you can make mistakes. It's a 90-minute game. But if your one mistake is automatically a goal for the other team, I mean, that's going to take a toll on the team. It's going to take a toll on the player and the manager.
I'm really surprised that Mikel Arteta didn't save Tavares from himself a lot earlier and bring KT on say maybe the 50th minute at least, if he wasn't going to do it at half time, because he needed saving from himself. He's young. He was, it kind of looks a little bit now that, and I saw people on Twitter saying that Tavares seems to crumble in the big games.
I think it's just strange in the fact that Tierney's been fully back from injury for a little bit of time now. I'm just surprised they don't just, even if he's having the game of his life, I'm surprised we're keeping him on for a full 90 and just give Tierney like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, get him back in a fitness, give him minutes, because eventually Tavares is going to need to rest. Tierney's going to play. He's going to get minutes eventually. So, even with, Tavares not playing well, having his brain farts at Liverpool, brain farts at Old Trafford, like, especially with Newcastle, I thought the team was definitely going to play. And it's not because Tavares played bad. Tierney needs minutes, and Tavares is not going to be our left back game in, game out, 90 minutes every game. It's just not going to happen. And it shouldn't.
And as suspect as I think Man United's backline is, I think Kieran Tierney would have delivered some sweeter balls into the box as well. His crossing is not bad at all, and I think that if we had maybe switched our plan to start putting some more crosses in and tried a tactic like that, it might have unlocked something.
I agree.
I agree with all of that.
The funny thing for me about Tavares is this, and he's the one player that seems to do this consistently. Ryan, what did I text you when they leveled the game? That's it. You can expect two more. You can expect two more goals, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of it, because we sat back. Arteta he had the result that he wanted. Then he had the result that he would settle for. And that's when we started to sit back. So he had the result he wanted.
I feel like you're blaming Arteta. It's the players. It's the mentality of the players. Either way. But you said it was Arteta got the result he wanted. Arteta, I'm sure, wanted to win 10-0. It was up to
Arsenal
Arteta.
had the result. Arsenal had the result they wanted, which was a 1-0 win. Then they had the result that they would settle for, the 1-1 draw. And at that moment, you could just tell there's no life left in this team. They're done. But then when they went behind 2-1, now they got to flip the switch again. And they did. And they seem to be doing it here and there. The problem is, again, they get scared. Now, more often than not, you hear the saying that the best offense is a good defense, right? But is the reverse of that not also true? Is the best defense not a really good offense? We go up 1-0, and then we sit back. We say, okay, now we're going to practice defense. We practiced offense. We got our goal. Now we're going to practice defense, and we're going to see how long we can go without conceding. And then
That's
we concede.
That's really interesting.
And then what happens is we sit back yet again and say, okay, well, now let's try not to concede the go-ahead goal. And then when we get the goal, it's like it's almost like I'm watching a training session with the mentality of this club. Go out and attack. Go out and attack at the very beginning and get the goal. Great, we did that. Okay, on to the next drill. Don't concede, but we concede.
So
and then the next drill is, okay, don't concede the go-ahead goal, and we do that. And now it's, okay, time for the drill where we practice coming from behind. So back to Nuno Tavares, because he's the one player that I don't see through all the mistakes that he makes, the mistakes he made at Liverpool, some of the mistakes that he made today. He's not afraid. The guy isn't afraid. He is going to take his chances. He's not the polished, finished product by any stretch of the imagination, but he takes his chances. And he's not afraid to make a mistake. The rest of this team is so terrified to make a mistake, as if they make a mistake and the other team score. Center field is just going to start to turn into this gaping sinkhole. And it's going to look like Heinz Field did from The Dark Knight Rises. When they blew up the football field, for those who have seen the movie. Like, if we concede a goal, that's what's going to happen. Nuno Tavares is not it. That's, if there's anything that I really like about Nuno Tavares, it's he's not scared. He goes forward. He's calling for the ball. He's trying to switch play, but trying to switch play going forward toward goal. Not switch the play, but go backward and around the horseshoe to get the ball up to the other side. So I that was the comment I wanted to make on Nuno Tavares, and I'm sure you guys
too many times when they're up, when we're sort of like moving on an attack and coming up into the third, in their third, and it doesn't, a pass gets misplaced and then the ball pops out, and Man United get the ball and they run back on the counter. There's nobody back there. There is nobody back there apart from Aaron fucking Ramsdale. Everybody else has to fucking. You look at. I saw it a few times. I'm looking, and you got Tavares, fucking Ben White, Gabriel. They're all fucking running backwards, trying to catch back up with the play. And I just keep thinking to myself, when we have to build up, can't we just leave a couple of people back? Why does everyone have to fucking go up and join in? Why does everyone have to go up there? Because it's so often. We get fucking twisted in and out. We have to spin around and we're running back towards our own goal. Try not to foul anyone. And it's annoying. I saw it a few times today. I kept thinking to myself, why does everyone have to be up there?
The ball, as the ball moves, so the team has to move, right? Both in attack and in defense. So the team has to move as a unit, right? So as the ball progresses forward, the team has to progress forward. If the ball is being brought onto our goal, we need to stay behind the ball. So I get what you're saying. Leave a couple of guys back, but that's I just wouldn't. I don't mind the guys going forward and pressing forward, but they have to be smarter with the ball further in front of them. You can't try to make a world-class play that the end result could be here again, getting bombed on the counter, where, like you said, there's nobody back there, and you find a 2-on-1 against your keeper, and the ball ends up in the back of your own net. You have to be smart about it. You have to take the chances where they come, but you have to be aggressive. But you have to be aggressive smartly. And this is young team. I will go to bed tonight and I will wake up tomorrow and I will look back on this game and I will still be fuming with VAR. The players, Arteta, I'm coming around to. I'm more pissed off at VAR than I am the way that we played. I don't like that we sat back. What?
I feel like
that's absolutely insane. You're more upset about VAR than the players. So Stan, for Christmas you want a punching bag with Cristiano Ronaldo. What I want for Christmas, so I hope, Megan, I hope you're listening. Mom, Dad, they sometimes tune in. I hope you guys are watching. Jess, my sister, I hope you guys are watching. What I want for Christmas is I want to watch a game with the bearded gooner, Tanner himself, because I don't know what the fuck he's watching. I want a nice pair of glasses, too, to give him, because I think the ones he has on right now don't work. When it was 1-1, and Ray was saying in the chat, too, and I was trying to bite my tongue, Ray. I want to interrupt so bad, but I was trying to be nice. We did not sit back at 1-1. We tried to bring the game to them. We did. We had a few chances here and there. We just couldn't retain the ball in the middle of the field. I don't know what, they would have the ball in the middle of the field.
When it was 1-1 or 1-0?
Well, really both, but when it was more 1-1, we did not sit back.
I'm not talking about when it was 1-1. I'm talking about when it was 1-0. We're done.
You said 1-1. You said when it was 1-1. We sat back.
That was a mistake.
Regardless, I think we sat back. I think we were playing very compact at 1-0. Sitting back, yes, but I think our biggest problem was we were running around all over the field. We kept taking the ball from them. But it was just like we would get our boots on it and we would flick it away. And ESR would make a quick little flick. El Neni would make a quick flick, but the ball would go right back to Man U. And we had zero. I was texting a bunch of people. We had negative ball retention. Our ball retention was, I've never seen it so bad before. We were just, I don't know if you guys ever see, but when you ever watch a game where it's just like a David versus Goliath matchup. And very early on, you could easily tell who the David is and who the Goliath is just by the ball retention and just by, teams that they just want to get it away from us. We don't want it. We're going to run. We're going to outwork you. But, we don't really want the ball or we can't really get to the ball. That was us. We were the David in this. We were running around the field. We were winning every 50-50 ball. We were dispossessing them we had a lot of great opportunities. But, again, we would just flick it. We would flick it back to them, we would pull it off of McTominay just for it to go back to the center back. We would take it off of Rashford just so it goes back to Dale Dot. So I don't know. I think it's a lot less about us sitting back in just the fact that our ball retention was absolute shit, which sucks. And I'm gonna kind of make myself a hypocrite right now, which is the reason we brought on Neni in the first place was to help our ball retention. And we actually had the worst ball retention I've seen in quite some time. So do I blame El Neni just for that? No. But it's definitely something that we need to improve in the middle of the pitch.
So
I think we need to do like the old CB radios, and when someone's done talking, say over, please, because I never know when I can jump in.
Over and out.
But you know what's going to happen then, Glenn?
Move on. When I wanted to make a point that I feel like, hey, Craig, holy shit, did you just pop?
Are you a fucking idiot?
All right, wait, real quick. Can introduce Craig. I was looking down. I was so you know what I did 20 minutes ago? I promoted the show that we were doing.
Smoked up?
I said,
pass.
Yeah.
20 minutes ago.
And someone else's glasses ain't working, for fuck's sake.
20 minutes ago, I plugged the show and said, I'm on now. I should be able to talk in about 20 minutes when Ryan is.
I saw that. It was good. I saw that.
And, and now it literally is 20 minutes later. Craig, I'm so happy to see you, but I have to say this. I feel like before Craig got here, we were four guys that saw the same damn movie, okay, and all had a different opinion of it. PG, we were scared. If we were scared, we wouldn't have come back from 2-1. We fought. I saw hustle in this game, and while I am pissed off about the result, I am not, on the edge of a cliff like you guys. Hi, Craig.
How's it going? And hello to everyone in the chat. How's it going?
Hi, Craig.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I was looking down. I was so disgusted I didn't get to talk. I was looking down. I didn't see Craig was there.
It's okay. Glenn.
All right. Okay. So, Craig.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. I was backstage there listening about 1-0, sitting back, this, that, and the other. It was done with the team selection. You can't go to Manchester United at Old Trafford when everyone else has spanked them and got a result. You cannot go to Old Trafford with Elneny in midfield. That just puts out what he's going to do. Mikel Arteta went to Old Trafford tonight for a draw, and that is it. How can you go to Old Trafford when everybody else has either got a result or spanked them and go for a draw? I hate Manchester United with a passion. I hate them. I hate losing to them. We absolutely put that game on a platter for them tonight. Absolute rubbish. We were absolute rubbish. Bottle jobs, not brave enough, showed too much respect, was second to every ball. The equaliser was lucky. Let's get real. It was a scuff shot that David De Gea saw very late. And it went in the back of the net. Yeah, great. I jumped up like all the rest of us, but it was lucky, right? The penalty, the moment. What is Odegaard doing? People are telling me it's not a penalty. It's a fucking Stonewall penalty.
That's a Stonewall penalty. Yeah,
it's a fucking Stonewaller. Sorry to swear. What is he doing in our 18-yard box, tackling people from behind? Where's the rest of them? It's people who are going, oh, it's all right, we played well. I don't get it. We played well. No, we didn't play well. We were shit. Thomas Partey. What did Thomas Partey do tonight? He gave the ball away 5 times in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I want to discuss the big elephant in the room. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. What? How is he captain? How is this man captain? Rhodes says the penalty is a dive. It ain't a dive. It ain't a dive. Odegaard has come from behind him.
Raid, I love you, man. It's not a dive.
Yeah. Odegaard has come from behind him and has taken him out of it. Now, whether Fred plays for the penalty or not is a different discussion.
I think that's what Raid means, because I agree with Raid. I don't think it was a dive.
If Fred has done it, if Fred has done it, more power to him.
Right?
But it's a stupid tackle. It's a stupid. He knows that tackle's coming. He knows that tackle is coming.
Putting foot on purpose there. Putting his foot where he did on purpose. Of course, he's trying to draw a penalty. That's what a good footballer does.
Yeah, he knows the tackle's coming.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you can't. If that's an Arsenal player, we sit here tonight and go, "Fucking hell, that was good, wasn't it?" He saw the tackle coming. He put his foot in, got a penalty. But we were poor tonight. I've been on a show there now just before this one. People in the chat, oh, we weren't too bad. What? Just listen to what every other team that's gone to Old Trafford has either got a result or have spanked Man United. The Arsenal go up there, we get beat. Because we haven't got any bottle, we're not brave enough, and we're too incomplacent on the ball. It's as simple as that. People are saying that for the first half an hour we were great. As soon as they equalised, I'm sure you'll all say, oh, fucking hell. You all said the same thing. As soon as they equalised, oh, fucking hell, here we go. Can you honestly say, one of you, when they equalised, said, oh, no, actually, don't panic.
Yeah.
We all said the same thing, didn't we? We all said the same thing. Oh,
Ryan has a text message from me to prove that that's where I was. Yeah. Although I did text you back. After we tied the game at 2. I did text you back. It worked because I'm like, if I talk enough shit.
I'm sorry now, right? The elephant in the room tonight, as much as you want to deny it, or as much as anyone else can deny it, right? The elephant in the room for me tonight is Aubameyang.
Oh yeah. We talked about him on Tuesday night.
Absolutely nothing. And he missed against Newcastle from 4 yards, and he's missed a chance tonight. All right, he was offside, but you've got to be putting that in the back of the net, whether you're offside or not. I'm sorry, you've got to be scoring that.
Yeah.
Right? Craig, if Aubameyang's an elephant, in this room there's a bunch of ivory hunters. All right.
You can't. Arteta comes out then in his interview, right? Arteta comes out in his interview and he says the senior players have got to take note of the younger players, right? Hang on a second. Ramsdale, young fella. Tavares, young fella. White, young fella. Gabriel, young fella. Tomiyasu, young fella. Odegaard, young fella. Saka, young fella. Martinelli, young fella. Who does that leave? El Neni, Aubameyang, and Partey. Are you really telling me that those three, that he thinks that senior players have got to look down to? You haven't got any young players, Mikel Arteta. They're all senior players, mate. And another thing I want to pick. You all know that I've stuck up for Mikel Arteta for the last 2 years. You all know that. How, as an Arsenal manager, are you bringing a player onto the pitch that's refused to sign a contract?
Yeah. That was.
How is Balogun in the under-23s banging in goals for fun when you put a lad on the bench who's refused to sign a contract? What does that say?
It's really bold. It's him and Lacazette. Lacazette's not signing a contract either.
Well, exactly.
You're bringing two players on.
How have you got players on the bench who have refused to sign contracts? How have you got the audacity to put them on the pitch?
I think this is a cultural thing because in America, you see players playing in the last year of their contracts all the time, and they are more motivated so that they can get that next bigger contract. So
I'm not interested, mate. If you come out and say I'm not signing a contract, fuck off then.
Yeah,
go
Glenn, it's a little different, Glenn.
Go and play the under-21s.
Okay, so you guys are saying
if I've got Balogun scoring, if I'm the manager of Arsenal, I've got Balogun banging in goals for the under-23s. Nikita comes into my office and says, I'm not signing a contract. Fair enough, Eddie. No problem. Go and play with the under-21s for the rest of your contract. Flo, come here, son. Simple as that.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. You've got a fella. What must Balogun sitting at home thinking to himself, I'm sitting here now watching Arsenal versus Manchester United. I can't get into this team. I'm banging in goals at under 21 and under 23 level. And I've got a geezer who won't sign a contract in front of me in a pecking order. How do we think that kid's feeling right now?
I only have about 5 seconds of defending Nketiah in me because I don't rate him, so I'm shutting up now.
There's no defending him.
No, you can't.
You can't defend now. People can say, well, it's up to the manager. The manager's picked him. But that's exactly what I'm saying. What kind of message does that send out to people? You know, we've got a lot of young kids coming through that academy that are really, really good. And they must be thinking, how am I going to get my chance if fucking Mohamed Elneny is starting at Old Trafford? How am I going to get my chance if Eddie Nketiah and Lacazette, who refuse to sign contracts, are getting in front of Balogun? And, you know, the young kids must be, well, do you know what? Fuck this. I want to transfer. And all of a sudden, we lose them all again because of poor management. And everyone knows, and you guys know more than anyone, I've always stuck up for Mikel Arteta. But tonight, I can't. He got it desperately wrong.
If you're a young player in Arsenal, there are also some positives you can look at, like Saka and ESR. You know, if you take your chance, it's gonna, you know, you have a better chance if you take your chance when it comes. You know, Balogun started the first 3 awful games of the season, didn't he? Or at least 2 of them, I think. I'm just saying there's also positive things that young players at Arsenal can look at. And Keddy, he's not good enough. I won't shed a tear when he leaves.
There's someone there saying, you can't do that every year. You can't do that every year, Craig. It is the same in every club. Is it? Well, I don't think so. I've seen a lot of clubs play for fellas who, if you're good enough, you're old enough, and that's it. And you replace, you know, you replace the players who are not doing the business.
I've made that comment before. It's so for at the end of the day,
he's got his favourites.
People will. Mate. Well, sure, but people will when it comes to this, they'll they'll make the argument to suit their agenda. Period. So if you want the older players to play, then your argument becomes we need the experience. If you side more with the younger players and you say, well, it's a youth movement, we need to play the young guys. And whatever the argument, whatever the flavor of the week is on that day or that week, whatever it might be, that's the way that people are going to argue it. I personally, I'll be honest with you, I don't think any of them are good enough. I don't think Balogun's good enough to come on. I know what he's doing in the U23s, but he's caught, for me, in that in between. He's not good enough for the Prem. He's not ready for the Prem, but he's too good for the U23s. And the pisser is Balogun needs to play against Sunderland. I'll say that. I think he needs to play that game. Eddie, I agree 100%. Done. All right. I don't know what else to take the training to keep your fitness level up, but that's it. If you're not going to sign the contract. Which I'm not mad about. Are any of us really mad that Eddie didn't sign the contract? I mean, right? Like it should force management's hand to go get a new striker because replenish some depth here. But Balogun, then none of them are good enough. And I even said before the show, I was talking to these guys, Craig, and I said this, and we got about 5 minutes here, guys, and then I got to wrap up. But I almost. Lacazette wasn't going to turn the tide of that game when he came on. Neither was Eddie. Neither one of them were going to do anything differently than had already been done. And Aubameyang, I know what he's been doing, but for where we were at that point in the game, I think Aubameyang was the best option of a lot of really bad options. I wouldn't have subbed him off.
I agree.
Glenn's got to go. Yeah, Glenn's got to go. Maybe.
Can I just say, against Newcastle, this is my final thing. Against Newcastle, Arteta made a move in the second half. He moved Saka positionally, and it changed the game. This week, Arteta did. You can argue he made a lot of mistakes. He has a toolkit, and he used this toolkit wrong this week. No one is right 100% of the time except my wife. That's it.
I concur.
So I will forgive him for this because he did hell of a job against
Glenn, what did the wise man once say?
Happy
Nothing,
wife,
because
happy
he's
life.
married. That's it.
So no, but seriously, we're a point out of fourth place, a lot better than last year.
Very true.
I'm sick to death about this, like you all, but I'm not, tomorrow I'll feel better. Thank you guys. Craig, it was so nice to see you. You doing good?
Mate. And you? Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm really
all right.
good.
I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, if I can figure out how to click this off.
See you, Glenn.
He's dead right.
Unfortunately, I got to.
Just one more thing,
go ahead,
before
Craig,
you go.
quick.
If I'd have offered the four of you 1 point off fourth place after losing to United and Liverpool, you'd have bit my hand off.
Yeah, obviously.
Oh yeah,
you would have done.
Yep.
So look, although we've had a poor performance tonight, not all is lost. Not all is lost. We move on. Football's a funny old game. You can beat anyone. You can lose to anyone. Okay, we're all pissed off. We've lost to a shite Man United team. But Glenn is dead right. We are 1 point off fourth place. And if I'd have asked any Arsenal fan before the season kicked off that on the 2nd of December, we'd be 1 point off a fourth after getting bashed by Liverpool and losing to Man United, everyone would have said, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Yeah. I think now, too, with this game,
Yeah.
I think now January is going to be very interesting. I think even before the season, even after our transfers for the summer were done, I think, we had some things we had to do, sending Balogun on loan, maybe get rid of a few, I guess you could say dead wood still that we still have in the club. But I think now it's, we do need some depth at center mid, for AFCON. And I do believe that we need a striker. And Tanner, you said it perfectly with the four guys we have, none of them would have did it. I disagree that Aubameyang was the best choice. I think Lacazette was the best choice. I think to see what he did for us when he came on against Palace kind of sparked our little mini revolution. Not saying he would have did it against Man U, and I'm not saying if Lacazette came on earlier, he would have won this game. I'm not saying that either, but I just think Aubameyang's done, and I think the class that Lacazette has shown since pretty much rejecting an extension here at the club and knowing he's going to leave probably on free in the summer, and knowing the job he's done with our young talent and all the kids that constantly say Lacazette. When they ask, like, who is the guy that showed you the way? Who was the one that showed you the ropes? You have defenders saying it. You have midfielders saying it. You have strikers saying it. Lacazette was the guy that eased me into the senior squad and was there for me if I needed anything. So, it's a shame we're in this situation. But hopefully January will come. We'll fix some needed things. And hey, guess what? In January, Partey and Aubameyang will not be a problem for us because they will be at AFCON. So hopefully, we can figure things out and we'll get our wish.
Yeah. Stan, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you've been quiet here for a little while. I'm going to give you as much time as you want for a final thought. I'm good, but you'll have the last word tonight, and then we got to say goodbye.
Well, we've got to get on Monday.
Take as much time as you take.
We've got to again on Monday at Everton, and it's important now that we don't feel sorry for ourselves. But I think it's equally as important that Mikel Arteta has some balls about him and make some decisions about the lineup, because a couple of players need saving from themselves a little bit now, and they need to be taken out the firing line and a little bit of rotation. Kieran Tierney needs to come back into the team now. I think Thomas Partey needs to be taken out of the firing line a little bit as well. And obviously, as Craig mentioned, the big elephant in the room. For me, this was like today's game was like the last chance saloon for Aubameyang. I'm like, if he has another stinker today, he has to sit now for a while. And just like everybody else, it's up to him now to be on the bench and being given minutes here or there, and him now working his way to get back in and earning his place to be the number one starter. Because at the minute, he doesn't deserve it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Full stop.
Yep,
Yes.
Definitely agree with that. So, yep, full stop. All right. Obviously, thank you to you, gentlemen. Craig, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in here for a little bit with us. I'm sorry we
Thanks
didn't
for having
get
me on.
more time.
Absolute
here.
pleasure.
Unfortunately, I have some things to get done here. As the sun is, we're out of sunlight, but it's still relatively early in the evening. So, bottom line, as we always say, the next match is the most important. I would be remiss if I did not welcome the newest member of the Loose Cannon Club, Freehan Job. I hope I said that right. I apologize if I butchered it, but welcome to the club, mate. We certainly appreciate you being here, being a part of it, and supporting what we do here. So thank you very much for that. And as always, thank you to everybody in the chat. Ray, Daniel Shaw, Gary is in there. Stan, jump in here. Name a few others that you saw in there as well.
BX Gunner 81, Guna Eddie, You're Not Sentiment FC, Love Arsenal, Hate Cronky. Love that one. Again, I'm getting it right now. I'm beginning to roll that one. Rin or RYN as it's
starting to roll off the tongue for you now.
Riddy Sarkar, Mr. Waffles, of course, our number one member, the first person that joined us, Raddy, and also Daniel Shaw. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Thanks for coming in. Stefan Selby as well. I haven't seen Stefan around for quite some time. I think Danny the GFP was in there as well. And Don't Waste the Tweet, Gary was in there as well. So thanks everyone for stopping by, and hopefully we'll have something better to talk about when we reconvene on Tuesday.
Yeah, sounds good. Again, thank you everybody. We really appreciate it. And we'll stay tuned, because there might be coming Monday, pregame, postgame. There might be something coming up there. So stay tuned for that, because we do go to Everton before the Tuesday night show. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep you posted. And I guess bottom line, drink them if you got them, smoke them if you got them. It's not the result we wanted, but it's the result that we have to accept. And on that note, it's been good footy talk. We'll see you guys out there.